I've had 2 hits. I didn't mention them because they felt like little pecks, but I've had 2 little taps on this bait right in this area. Tells me they're either real small, but it's probably what the case is. So I could throw like a TRD in there, but I did not get a great hook set. But I hope you guys saw that. But if you keep throwing this, normally I'm telling you, this thing just has kicked in and started working. You can see, as good as we consider that crank being in that spot, you throw a backup bait in it and you still can catch them. Ones that just, for whatever reason, this guy just wasn't in the mood for that little crank. I need a jumper. Let's go jumper. We're on fire. Now we need to go out in a blaze of glory. Come on. Come on, little dude. Do it. Fine. I didn't like him anyway. While I'm on the subject, I guess I could talk about the NRX rods. I'm about ready to do my, I've fished for about a season now on the NRX rods. It's hard to put these things down, I will admit. They're not, for the money, as balanced as I would like them. And I'm going to be looking forward to that. I'm going to put a video together. I'm going to balance them using this area, because that's the thing. I don't want to void any kind of thing. These are like a lifetime guarantee, but if I go hacking and cutting on it, they may, Gloomis may be like, no, we're not going to, warranty that. So I'm going to try to balance this combo by putting some stuff here, and I'll show you how. I'll be looking forward to that video. But these NRX rods, just what they say they're for, jig and worm or whatever, they are flat out awesome. I struggled in the beginning, and I'm struggling right now. How did I get caught on it? But I struggled in the beginning with what I considered hook sets and setting the hooks and that stuff, and I'm not sure what I was doing wrong. I probably need to review that videos, a couple of them, because I think it was just the overall bite. And I was catching a lot of fish, and when you're trying to get used to these and you're on a weird bite, and maybe I needed to let them take it a little longer before I, popped them. Maybe I needed to yank harder. But sometimes there's a learning curve on, any kind of rod you get, the action of it, because these do have a fairly, like almost super fast action to them. They're pretty soft at the tip, and then they go in the backbone. And a lot of times when they're that sensitive, and I just kind of, you find yourself wanting to just lift on it, like you feel the slightest thing, and a lot of times you're just pulling it right out of the fish's mouth. You didn't give them enough time. Other times you just didn't set the hook hard enough. You can usually, especially, and I say it, I preach it, and I don't do it. I set my drags, if you guys ever watch that video, where I can pop it as hard as I want. I mean, even these lighter rods, when I'm fishing with, 6-10 pound test, I set my drags where the line won't break on the hardest hooks that I can do. I hook it up to my bumper of my car or whatever, and I yank hard and the drag goes. So, seriously, on any bite I get, I can, I should put whatever in it, and you're going to hear the drag. But that's for a reason, so I'm not snapping line on, all but a couple rods are 10 pounder lighter is what I use. And so when you take a 6'8" or any, whoa, that is a nice fish. I'm sitting here talking. Oh, you ran. That fish charged my trolling motor. I still say they can hear that thing a mile away, and it makes them do stuff, because they run like right for that trolling motor. When I hit it trying to back up. What was I talking about? That little dude went nuts. Whew. Is he a jumper? Hang on, I'll try to remember what I was talking about. Oh, setting the hooks. You guys probably saw that was a poor hook set, but it works. Oh no, he's like, no. It shook right out of my hand. This is an awesome morning, and I knew it would be. That's why I was gonna go yesterday, and I needed to do a lot of stuff around the house. I'm like, I'll just get it all done where I can go just fishing today until I get wet and nasty, and even fish on then if I want, because this may be one of my last trips of the year. The water, it's going to start, the water temps already dropped. They're in 71 degrees. It's going to only get colder from here on out. There's probably no, nice weekends left in the year. But these rods, to finish on the NRXs, the 802C is what I wanted. I ended up getting an 803 before I got an 802. Then I ended up getting 2 802s. This is the one I bought used. I haven't even used the brand new one yet. I took it out like one trip, and I just kind of am waiting around for another reel, and I don't really even need it. at the moment. But at one point I was going to sell these. I was like, okay, I've tried them, and you know, I can have something to compare by, but I can't put them down once I get out fishing with them. I mean, you don't need them. You don't need this as expensive of a, you know, rod or reel combo for that matter, but just a pure enjoyment. And I can't say that it helps you get any better hookups, but I can say the more you fish these, it tends to be just, you know, like that fish you just saw, you kind of get the hang of, oh, how to set the hook. Except on that was a little fast hit. I would almost swear that was a little bluegill. And I'm sitting here running my mouth, just getting hits right and left. So as I'm sitting here talking and getting, this little spot right here is turned into a little honey hole. I'm actually right on top of the fish. But let's wrap up the NRX rods. Awesome rods. Did you guys see that? I might need to throw back in there with that little crank. This is the spot though I caught that big one, somewhere right in this area. I was back there and I threw up to it. But I threw that small crank through that section. This purple worm seems to be what they're wanting. There's no need to try different colors. I mean, it almost doesn't get through there at cast without getting hit. So I'll keep talking. It's working, right? Try it up there. But yeah. So can I recommend these rods? Yeah, if you can afford it. Now I haven't tried their warranty system. If and when, I'm sure one of these at some point will get broke. You know, and I'll put a video out about that. You know, was there a hassle? I can say that I had a fly rod in the past and was no hassle with Loomis getting it replaced. It was, I don't remember what it cost me in shipping or whatever, but I had an 8-weight fly rod. The problem was it was like the GL2 black rod awesome. And they, you know, once they discontinue a rod, they don't have it there to give you another one. So they give you the updated version, which is awesome for some things if it's what I consider an improvement. But the new rod that they gave me, I did not like it. I think it was kind of a green color. I don't remember what it was called, but I love that black. You guys know what I'm talking about. Those GL2s had that, you know, whether it was I think they had the full lineup, went in fly rods, bass rod, all that kind of stuff. But it just, they had that, you know, feel and look about them. They were awesome rods. So I ended up, I did get that one back, and then I just sold it for, you know, whatever price. It didn't have the same feel and use. But like these, you know, they've made these for years now. I don't know if any time they'll ever change. They must still be, there we go. They must be selling good. And they're still working. But yeah, NRX, are they legit? I believe so. I mean, they've been selling for what, 10 plus years now. Same pretty much. I think they've changed it just slightly, not much to them. Are there probably better rods now? You know, rod technology, I guess, maybe close or the same, or maybe a touch more sensitive, but it's definitely hard to beat. I've fished rods that are way more balanced, but as far as can I say I've ever fished a rod that is quite as good or better? No, not really. Can I go out and do the same thing with the $35 lightning rod? Yeah. You fish with braid, you know, it's all about presentation and bait. And I honestly feel that until you get used to these NRXs, I'm not saying that extra sensitivity can't help you, but I think if anything, it can hurt you. Especially if you get on that finicky bite where they're going to come up and they're going to mouth it before they commit to it. And if you're just yanking on the first little whatever, sometimes I was losing fish, and Olivia was fishing back behind me. They were almost swallowing it, but every bite she got, she caught, and I missed probably half of my bites. And that's just when that bites off, which that's something you got to pick up in your head and realize that after, you know, missing maybe one or two. Like, okay, let them, you know, let them get it and then set the hook. Now today they're pretty aggressive. Once I feel something, they're typically, they get it and they're running. You know, they've already are taking it. So that's when you want that, you know, as soon as you're feeling something, you want to be able to get on them. Like I said, that one hard thump I had, you know, with the NRX, you can kind of tell, you know, it didn't feel bassy. It felt like a bluegill. It felt, you know, panfishy. It felt that thump. They just, like a hard thump, but then there's nothing else there, and it's like a peck, not a, you know, had it in their mouth and then it came out, or they let go of it kind of thing. All right, I think we're almost done with this spot. This has been a honey hole right here for sure.